Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just real quick, wanted to kind of give you an update on what's going on with the wood stove I started. I have finally managed to get all my holes drilled all the way around, get it bolted together. These holes here where the wing nuts are at, that's actually going to be the holes where my legs go. Legs are going to be 12 inches long with a stud at the top that goes through the hole, then the wing nut will hold it in. And then there's a little trick that's on the bottom of the leg that I'm not going to give away yet, but I'll go over that when I get my legs back. You also see there's 3 bolts in down here at the bottom. The other side, let me get you around here, going to have the same thing. I just haven't got those in. I'm actually going to use 3 of these out of the 4 that I've got to finish these up. But let me show you what that's for. If you look inside, over on that side, you see all 3 of those bolts. What those bolts are for is when I get everything finished, the actual grate that the wood will rest on is going to sit on top of those bolts. That way I'm going to have a good 3 inches between the bottom of the grate and the bottom of the stove. One, it'll do a couple of things. That will keep the bottom of the stove from getting really hot, but it'll also give me a good air gap underneath, as well as a good trap underneath for all of my ash and everything to fall through and get caught in the bottom. I'm actually working on a flap. Let me get you around here where you can see it. There's my dog. A flap that's going to cover this bottom hole, and then that way I can open that flap up to clean all my ash out the bottom of the stove as I go. But it's coming along. Still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to hook the pipe flange to the top of this so I can slide my pipe down on it. Still working on that. I'll figure it out. I'm not real sure how I'm going to do it yet, but we'll see what I come up with. Anybody who has any ideas or any suggestions, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know. But it's coming along. I've got my hinges for the door. I'm going to have to get me a piece of steel cut to fix the door. But so far, money-wise, I've got $15 in the 2 sinks. I've got $1.87 in a set of hinges for the door, and then got 97 cents in these little bitty screws. Once I get everything together and get the first burn on it, I've actually got a little trick I'm going to do to these screws to lock them in place so that they don't get hot and loosen up. Right now they've got lock washers on them, but I'm going to do this just as a precaution, but I won't do that until I get everything done and get at least my first good burn on this stove. I've got a lot of cleaning up on fit and finish and stuff to do, but that's stuff that'll come as I go along with everything else and get it more to its completed stage. But just wanted to touch base and let y'all know how it was going, and just kind of give you a heads up on where we're at with it. We're getting there, not quite, but we're getting closer. So George over at E Squad 540 is doing my legs. He's got a little trick on the bottom of them he come up with, and like I said, I'll go over that when I get my legs back. I think he told me he should have them ready maybe tomorrow night. So maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get a little video over the weekend and show you his little trick that he come up with for the legs. So you all have a good night. Like, share, subscribe, and please, if you come up with any ideas on how to attach the stovepipe to the top of this or to put a flange on it, please leave me a comment and let me know, because anything that I've come up with seems to be like it's going to be a lot of work, And there's got to be an easier way to do it. So, everyone have a good night. I'll get another video up for you hopefully here in the next few days with the legs and a little closer to being done. Have a good one.